Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nate G. We're going to do a trade plan here on PRGS. This has monthly options, but this pattern looks great, especially when we look out to daily chart. We're way up at all-time highs, and we're kind of hovering here. The one thing that issue that we're going to potentially have is this might decide to go without us, and I'm going to show you that the risk reward at the moment is we need to wait to see if it'll give us an entry. And so the way we'll set this up, this is kind of in a clear TPS looking pattern. We have a recent high, a pullback. We're consolidating within the zone. We're on a 195 minute chart at the moment. We have an A plus setup with rounding momentum down here, but we want to pick it up down in these levels here, and we're coming up into support. Resistance. And we don't want to pick it up here. At least I don't want to pick it up here and risk all the way down to here. So I want to set up a plan so that when it comes down, I'm alerted and I have an opportunity to get in. So we have a very clear point of control level right here. So I'm going to mark that at 65.44. The value area low for that part of the pattern is right sort of here at 65.16. I'm going to make that level red. We got our 65.16 or 14 there. And then we could play into this sort of swing low here if we wanted to, but I'm going to set up the trade a little higher and see if I can't get a better risk reward. I'm going to put in a recent high that we're hoping to push through at 67.50. Make that green, and then I'm going to use our trusty fibs here for our pullback. And I'm going to mark at 68.31. If you were feeling really saucy, you could play it up into 69.70. But we're going to play it as we do all these other setups. So we've got a target number 1 and a target number 2, both listed in green. Now, if I were to draw our risk reward box here and say, oh yeah, let's pick it up right now, even at our risk, our target number 2, we're below a 1-to-1 risk reward, right? And so we're risking $1.65 to make $1.50. So you can see that this is not a great spot to be picking this up. Now that doesn't mean it's not going to just continue on up tomorrow. But you can see we're coming up into a level of resistance. And as traders, we want to buy at support and sell at resistance, right? So buying at resistance doesn't give us the biggest edge, right? So what we want to do is we want to buy it down here where we have, a 10 risk reward level, risk reward ratio, right? We're going to risk 29 cents to make $2.86 on the underlying. So I'm going to come down to about 65.60, and I'm going to put an alert in there. So my system will alert me if we come down into that level. All right. And because we're playing a 195 and we're playing monthly, it's a monthly chart. When it gets to that level, if it ever gets to that level, I'm going to play the 11.15s. And that'll be at 65, 66. So at that point, I will probably play the 62.50s. Right? Calls. Because that will be slightly in the money. The 65s will still be slightly in the money, So that's also, at, if we come down into that level, I guess the 65s will be slightly in the money. But the 6250s might just give me a little bit better range. And we're going out so far that we have time, right? We have some time. So you could, in theory, buy the 65s and still feel okay because you're not going to get the theta that's in there is not going to completely destroy you. So in here, I'll just write or 65Cs, whichever you prefer. So now we have a stop level, a risk reward, a target, 2 targets, and we have a plan to be alerted, and we have it on our charts that if the name comes down into that level, we're going to get an alert in our alerts channel. And then we're going to open up this chart and we're going to say, oh, I've already worked it out. I know I've got a, 1 to 10 risk reward, and I know I'm going to buy the 1115s at either one of these, and I know where my targets are, and I have a plan. Okay, so that's PRGS trade plan. If it comes down and gets us, it might not, but I'm not willing to try and buy it up here. Okay, that's it for that.